So, here's the thing about pineapples. Pineapples have been known to Western culture for quite a while. George Washington ate one. But they've not been widely accessible. George Washington was by far the richest president we've ever had. His net worth was somewhere between 1 and 2% of the entire US GDP, meaning he was way, way, way more wealthy than Trump, and about as wealthy as the top 5 wealthiest Americans combined in terms of percentage of the economy at the time he's alive. He wrote letters all the way into his later life, like 60s, talking about the time that he had the most splendid fruit while he was in Bermuda, and that was the pineapple. But he couldn't get one because he was too sick to leave Virginia and go to the Caribbean. And you could not get, in the age of sail, you could not get a pineapple from where they grew to Virginia for any amount of money before it would rot. So George Washington had a pineapple sometime in his youth and never again. Fast forward a bit to the Victorian era, and now we have faster boats. We can burn a heck of a lot of coal. Or, no, not quite there yet. So fast forward, early Victorian, almost Edwardian era. Pineapples can be transported while they're alive, but not while they're edible. So in England, they make these greenhouses and fill them with manure because when the manure rots, it gets hot and maintains this hot, humid environment that allows pineapples to grow, even in England. So pineapples are now something you can possibly get, but they're the equivalent of what would probably be about $50,000 to $100,000 per pineapple now. So they're a curiosity. People literally rented them by the hour. If you were having a housewarming, you, as a Victorian gentleman, would rent a pineapple so that everyone could see the curiosity of it. And then someone who was an actual royal, not new money like you, would probably get the chance to actually eat the thing. Now fast forward to the steamship era, and I've dropped my fake pineapple. And via burning a hell of a lot of coal, you can get pineapples from the tropics, where labor and human life are also cheap, all the way up to Europe and the US for a more achievable amount of money. Call your pineapples going from maybe 6 figures in value to 5 figures in value to the equivalent of maybe 4 figures in value. They remained a curiosity and a luxury. They're still something that you'd find brass statues of and an ornamentation of, and indicating severe wealth. But your new money was actually able to afford these. Take it a little farther on, get to the diesel era, and we're able to get pineapples to mass markets pretty quickly. Bananas became cheaper than apples in the U.S. Before the 1920s because of dieselization and because of faster shipping. Fast forward all the way to today, and I can go to the grocery store and buy a pineapple for about $3, which is pretty incredible considering that George Washington, who had a net worth the equivalent of about 1% of the entire US economy, died salty about the fact that he could never eat another pineapple.